This next episode of Trivia in Chief is about the other scandal of our 37th president, Richard Nixon. Richard Milhous Nixon was born in 1913 in California. He was named Richard after Richard the Lionheart, and his middle name of Milhous was his mother's maiden name. Nixon's family were Quakers who owned a gas station and lemon farm. Nixon attended Whittier High School, where he lost an election for student body president. He attended Whittier College, a small Quaker school. After graduation, he received a scholarship to Duke University Law School. After his graduation from Duke, he applied to the FBI, but was turned down, and moved back to California briefly. He met Pat Ryan when they were cast in the same play, and they married in 1940. The two moved to Washington, D.C. in 1942, where Nixon worked in some of Roosevelt's New Deal programs. He joined the U.S. Navy and served as an operations officer. During his time in the Navy, Nixon became very good at poker and won enough money to fund his successful campaign for a seat in the U.S. House of Representatives. He served in the House Un-American Activities Committee and was part of the investigation team of Alger Hiss. Nixon was re-elected in 1948 and was elected to the Senate in 1950. Nixon was made Eisenhower's running mate of the 1952 election. Nixon served as vice president until 1960, when he ran in the presidential election. Nixon's brother, Donald Nixon, owned a hamburger restaurant chain called Nixon's, where he sold the 20-cent Nixon burger. The restaurant was struggling, and Donald took a $205,000 loan from Howard Hughes to save his business. This loan came to light 4 years later, during Nixon's 1960 campaign for president. Many felt that this showed the entire Nixon family was controlled by Hughes, and it was dubbed the Nixon Burger Scandal. Nixon, at a campaign stop in San Francisco's Chinatown, posed in front of a banner with Chinese writing. He later learned it said, "What about the Hughes loan?" After this scandal, Richard Nixon had his brother's phone wiretapped. The Nixon's chain went bankrupt in 1961. After losing the presidential election, Nixon lost the 1962 California gubernatorial election. Nixon announced he would be running for president again in 1968. The next month, incumbent Lyndon B. Johnson announced he would not be running for re-election. Nixon ended up running against Democrat Hubert Humphrey and independent George Wallace, with Nixon ultimately emerging victorious. In 1969, the Apollo 11 mission landed on the moon, and Nixon announced the triumph to the nation. Had the mission failed, Nixon had a speech prepared called An Event of Moon Disaster. In 1972, Nixon ran for re-election and defeated Democrat George McGovern. Shortly after the election, the Watergate scandal came to light. The scandal was about a break-in at the offices of the Democratic National Committee in the Watergate Hotel. Nixon maintained he was not involved, stating, "I am not a crook." Vice President Spiro T. Agnew resigned, and Gerald Ford was appointed to fill the position. Nixon announced his resignation on August 8, 1974, and he stepped down the next day. He passed away in 1994. Richard Nixon is today best known for Watergate, though his earlier Nixon Burger scandal almost ruined his career. The next president was Gerald Ford. Thank you.